Forget five-star dining. This hidden back alley in Bangkok has something foodies dream about. Golden, crunchy pork belly that snaps, sizzles, and melts all in one bite. This is Aunt Tu's Crispy Pork Alley. If you love great food, lifting heavy, and kicking ass, then you're in the right place. My name is Ethan Buck, and I haven't always been fit. In fact, I used to weigh over 320 pounds, but I figured out how to get lean, healthy, and strong while enjoying the process, and I want to share that with you right here. So join me as I travel the world hunting down legendary hole-in-the-wall kitchens, getting humbled in underground fight clubs, and pushing iron in gyms that make your local Planet Fitness look like a daycare center. Every episode is a gamble. Will this mystery meat make me stronger or send me to the hospital? Can I survive a Muay Thai session with fighters who have never heard of holding back? This isn't just a channel, it's a test of discipline, grit, and adventure. Welcome to Food, Fitness, and Fisticuffs, where getting fit is the adventure of a lifetime. Sawadee krap. Okay, so this is your basic menu. Now, that's the crispy pork itself, and it's just glorious. But they do some other things with it here. So they do kind of a crispy pork with basil. It's almost probably like a pad krapao, which we reviewed on the channel before. This is shrimp with curry powder, but they also have a curry version of crispy pork. But what I'm looking at here are these two. The basic, you can never go wrong with the basic one. But I also want this crispy pork with chili and salt. Mugrop pad prik sop. Pet mai? Okay. Come. แล้วที่นี่มีเป๊ปซี่แม็กซ์ไหมครับไม่มีค่ะเป๊ปซี่โอเคเอาไข่ดาวด้วยไหมคะวิดไฟไม่เก่าขอโทษครับโอเคตามวิดีโอที่ร้านอาหารโอเคครับคุณครับ Cool, so they don't let us go film in the kitchen, which is really awesome. It's always something special when they let you do that because you get a real feel of what's going on. Pepsi. I'm a Coke guy. I drink a lot of Coke Zero, and for some reason, I don't know why this is, but Coke just seems to go really well with pork. Pepsi does too, but Coke, for some reason, just hits the spot when you're eating any kind of pork, but especially crispy pork. And I think the Mexicans got it down. Oftentimes Mexicans will cook pork in Coca-Cola. I don't know why that is. If you know why that works, just let me know down in the comments. Let's go into the kitchen. It's always something special when they let you into their kitchen. Oftentimes, their second home. Really cool. The smells in here are just amazing. You get smells of chili frying, fish sauce. And look, their kitchen is just outdoors here. Look at this gentleman. He looks like he knows what he's doing. Getting the oil real hot. Chili's going there. That's the stuff that makes your eyes burn. Then we got pork going right in on top of the hot chili. And then some sort of special sauce. It's probably an oyster sauce, some fish sauce, a bit of sugar, a bit of salt. And that is burning my eyes. That's gonna be nice and spicy. I don't know if that's water or a bit of broth, but this already right here is extremely fragrant. Just look at that cooking up. Amazing. We're so lucky to be able to come back here like this. And then this gentleman here, I am coughing because of this. Whew. Slices up the crispy pork that's already been made. This is the stuff I love right here that he's making. Just so good. Let's go take a look at what the lady over here is doing. This must be where it all starts. So they've got these big pieces of pork going in the deep fry right there. Sawadee krap, kotot kap. She covers them up. Look at that. Ooh. Splashing hot oil everywhere. And look, it's just a big slab of pork side. Stuff you make bacon out of, pork belly type of stuff. And then that's the finished product. So it goes from here, this lady You're slicing and dicing, frying it all up, placing it over here. Then it goes to this guy who cooks the actual meals in the hot oil. And it looks like they dish it up over here. So just amazing. Man, we're so lucky that they let us back here. This is just awesome. Thai people are so kind and opening and welcome. I just absolutely love it here for multiple reasons, but I gotta say it's mostly because of the people. I mean, the food and the people, just absolutely amazing. Now look, not the healthiest thing, but it is awesome. So let's go take a seat and enjoy all the food these lovely people have put together for us. Oh, okay. Already ready. Kap kun kap. All right. You ready to dig in? I certainly am. So you can feel, right when you put the fork in, you can feel the crunchy barrier followed by a succulent, fatty, just moist inner barrier. Oh my God. Yes. Look, not only is this a taste thing, it's a texture thing. Upon first bite, big crunch, followed by fatty pork belly, just goodness. And then you get the spices. So the first thing you notice is the texture. I mean, let me see. This piece right here is incredibly crispy. I can tell you that right now. See if I can get this on the microphone. Could you hear that? What if you could hear that in your own head, in your own mouth? So immediate, first thing that comes to mind is just that texture that is very comforting for some reason. A crispy followed by a soft. And then comes the flavor. It's a little sweet, but it's mostly spicy and savory. They do put sugar in it. They do have some oyster sauce in there, so the oyster sauce is kind of sweet too. But then you get the garlic and the chili. A little bit of maybe green onion. So I'm not one to blame food for weight gain. A lot of people do that. They say, oh, it's the bread, it's the thing that made me fat. This food made me fat. Look, at the end of the day, it's you that did that to yourself because you ate too much of that food. The food didn't make you eat it, right? But that being said, since I discovered mu grop, crispy pork in Thailand, I noticed I started gaining a little bit of weight. I was eating a lot. And then I found a place that makes mu grop crispy pork sandwiches. Just amazing. The simplest, but one of the best sandwiches I've ever had. Very simple, but amazing. And then I found a place that makes those mu grop sandwiches. And if they don't sell them by midnight, they go on sale at 9 p.m. So I was going there after 9 p.m. on the way home from the gym or training sometimes. I'm buying one because they were half off, which is already cheap because we're in Thailand. So, I mean, I was getting a crispy pork sandwich for 50 cents. It was ridiculous. So I had to slow down on that. But today I'm sacrificing my calorie deficit to bring you the glory of mu grop Thai crispy pork. All right, so we had to get the regular crispy pork without seasoning or chilies or anything like that, just because it's a classic. It's so good. And it comes with what's called a suki sauce, which is like a Japanese sukiyaki sauce. So it does have a very Japanese flavor, this one. Now, here is something that a lot of people think is that it comes like battered, like they batter it and then they fry it. But actually what happens is they parboil it to kind of soften it up. Oftentimes they'll prick it with a skewer or a fork of some sort to kind of make these punctures into the meat itself and into the fat. And then they rub it down with salt, and sometimes salt and vinegar to dry it out, and they leave it to dry out, whether that be outside or in an oven. And then they fry it, they deep fry it. And sometimes they deep fry it twice. They deep fry it, they flash deep fry it for the skin to get crispy, and then they deep fry it again to make sure everything is cooked on the inside. So just look at this. It almost looks like there's cornflakes around it, like fried cornflakes, like a cornflake panko or something, but it's not. It's just the fat and the oil and basically the whole process that they went through to create this amazing product. So we'll dip it in that sukiyaki sauce. Oh. You hear that? This is probably my new favorite Thai food. What's interesting is we did an episode in Louisiana where they had a country cook-off and they made cracklings with our old friend Skeeter Ray. If you haven't seen that episode, it's my most viewed episode ever. I'll put the link to that episode down in the description so you can watch it. It's an amazing episode. Skeeter Ray's an awesome guy. And all the people we met there were amazing. Anyhow, this is very much like a crackling that you would find in somewhere like Louisiana, but it's a little bit different. There's more meat on the inside and it's not as cooked. It's not as crunchy. You see, cracklings are pretty crunchy all the way through. This is crunchy just on the outside, and it's probably has something to do with the process, right? They do that intentionally. They fry it twice, they flash fry it, get the crisp, and then they fry it again a little bit. Maybe less hot oil, I'm not sure exactly how they do it. Maybe the second time's in an oil that's not so hot, so they can cook it through without making it too crispy. I have no idea. But it is very much like a crackling you would find in the southern parts of the United States. So you can get crispy pork anywhere in Thailand or Bangkok. But this place here, Crispy Pork Alley, specifically Ant Q's Crispy Pork, is the place to come. And I can tell you, this is my first time here. I can see why. Because it's just fresh. And what you buy typically in a store has already been kind of cooked and it's packaged. And that's also pretty good. By the way, this stuff is good cold. But I feel like there's more love put into this one. It's nice and fresh. The people are just making it right back there. They open up their kitchen to us, let us film back there so I can bring to you how they make this. I can show you how it's done. Skeeter Ray's dad, he told me about his dad, that his dad would make those cracklings, which are very much like these, and pour syrup on them for like a little snack, like a bit of a dessert after dinner. And this sukiyaki sauce here, it's very sticky. It's a very gooey, sweet sauce. There's some vinegar in it, but it's thick and sweet for the most part. These are very good with some sweet on them, whether it be a syrup or the sukiyaki sauce, because you've got the savory, the salty, and then you've got the sweet. It's a delicious treat. So that was delicious. A lot of calories, and I am in a calorie deficit. Probably not today after this. We'll see what the rest of the day looks like. I could make it happen. I could fit this into my macros. It's just that my other meals are going to be pretty small. Anyhow, it's still earlier in the day. It's about to be their rush hour. So I want to get out of here, make sure I'm not in their way for their regular customers. And there is a really cool park just down the street from here that I'm going to take you to. It's called Lumpini Park. We did a whole episode there. It's a park with an amazing gym, an outdoor gym that's free. And there are some local characters there that are just awesome. They're in their 60s and 70s, and they're lean and muscular and strong, and old man jacked, old man strong. So maybe some of those guys will be there today. Either way, we're gonna go get a quick workout in and talk about some of the stuff around relationship with food and nutrition and losing body fat while enjoying your favorite foods like crispy pork and mukrop, or any other food for that matter. So let's go on a little walk and explore a little bit of Bangkok, and then go hit a workout in an amazing park. That was very filling. And look, we're right here next to an alley and a busy street. Check out this old bus. That thing's from like the 70s. So we're gonna go walk around Bangkok. I'm gonna show you a couple cool things that are just on the way to the park. The park's called Lumpini Park. I believe I mentioned that earlier. I don't remember. I don't follow a script. I just talk to you guys and do cool stuff. There's a lot of shrines and temples. This is a Chinese one. We're not too far away from Chinatown, so that makes absolute sense. I'm not gonna walk in there and just kind of disrespect them, but just to kind of give you a glimpse. I mean, look, we have this skyscraper, modern city, and then really old temples just like this. And they're beautiful. And that's one thing I really like about Bangkok and just Asia in general, is you can find really old temples, big and small. There's thousands of them in Bangkok. And it's just this kind of place to find some serenity, some peace and quiet and calmness right in the middle of all the hustle and bustle and noise and chaos that is the city of Bangkok. Around 15 million people. It's just endless, but it's safe and it's beautiful. The crime is low. But look, just everywhere you go, there's food absolutely everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Fisticuffs. More crispy pork. A cafe. Food just absolutely everywhere. You would not go hungry here. I mean, even if you don't have much money at all, you could still fill your belly for less than $1 in a lot of places. If you found the right places, you walked around enough, you would find places to eat for less than $1. That's amazing. And there aren't many people begging on the streets or homeless people. Of course, income here is lower. Economically, it's not the powerhouse of like China, Korea, the United States, Britain, European countries. But people are doing well here, at least in the city. It's not a big deal. People aren't starving. Now I say that, there's going to be regions where people are, but from what I've observed so far, Thailand really takes care of its people. And they, hello, my cup, my ao cup, cup and cup, my ao cup, my cup. I don't want ice cream, I just had a bunch of crispy fried pork. I was saying though, they really take care of their people here. And as a foreigner living here, you can really feel that. You sense it. In fact, you see it. There's a lot of things. There's over 40 jobs that are only reserved for Thai nationals. A foreigner cannot work those jobs. There's a lot of things that Thais, locals can do that foreigners, even if you live here as a resident, you just can't do. So it's pretty interesting. They really take care of their own, and it's to preserve their own culture, their economy. I'm sure there's other reasons, nationalist reasons, which, look, these things are not a benefit to me. If I wanted to find other work here, and I was qualified in it, I might not be able to do it because that work is reserved for Thai people only. And there's some other things. I can't have a bank account here as a foreigner on the visa that I'm on here anyway. I can't do a lot of things here. But here's the thing, I respect that because I'm a guest in this country. None of those things really benefit me. In fact, a lot of them are just kind of little inconveniences, day-to-day things that are slightly inconvenient. However, I'm a guest in this country, I respect it, it's just the way it is, and I understand that they're protecting their own and they're preserving their culture. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, if we were in a Western country, a different culture, maybe a different race of people, people would be up in arms about it, right? But here, I think it's a good thing. So anyway, look, we're in a very busy street and we've got this beautiful temple right here in the middle of it. There's another temple that we just showed you right over there. Now just look at the contrast here. This really old, beautiful, beautiful temple. It's called the Hua Lampong. And right there in the background, skyscrapers. So a lot of times in these temples, they don't allow you to wear like tank tops, especially if you have tattoos, and short shorts. And I wear short shorts. The only appropriate short length for men is a 5-inch inseam. Trying to be a jacked Magnum PI here. So oftentimes, especially for women, they don't like women showing anything above the knee, their shoulders, their back exposed. They don't like torn up clothes, and I agree with that. This is a sacred place to the people from here. You should show up and look at least somewhat decent. Not like a tramp. Do I look like a tramp right now? Hope not. let's take a look here. Now, all of these things, just by the way, are hand painted with gold. Every tile is hand painted. There's tiny tiles everywhere. There's so much detail. So much detail goes into this, and I guess you could call it their faith, their spiritual practice. It's absolutely beautiful. It's really cool. There are thousands of temples just in Bangkok alone, I'm sure. And you can't visit all of them because there's just far too many. But it's reassuring if you maybe are contemplating something or just want a place to chill out and relax. I mean, it's quiet in here. Right over there is the main road with the BTS, the city train and the highway. It's loud. Right here, it's quiet. You can relax. You can probably even talk to a monk about life. Something special. We don't really have spaces like that in the West, whether it be a temple or just somewhere we can go chill out in the middle of a city. I guess some cities do, I shouldn't say that. Central Park in New York, for example, city parks, but this is just something extra serene and quiet. Now, on the note of safety, the BBC just put out a documentary on how dangerous Thailand and Bangkok is. And I've been seeing a lot of British expats kind of raving and ranting about it online. And I've only seen bits of it. But I don't know, I guess I'm a half Brit, maybe I can contribute to that. But well, actually it doesn't really matter where you're from. The fact of the matter is, it's just not true. In fact, Thailand has been ranked one of the safest destinations to travel to in the world. So if you've seen that documentary, or if you've heard various things, I can tell you first-handly, it's not true. Crime rate's very low. It's said, even locals will say this, that a single female on her own can walk across the entire city in the middle of the night and not be harmed or touched. And yes, of course, there's some petty crimes and there's some actually serious crimes, but for 15 million people, that amount is still very low. And at first, it was hard for me to kind of believe based on the cities I've lived in and visited and grew up in. But after spending some time here, all you see, for the most part, is just kindness and really calm, chill Thai people. So don't believe what the media says. So we're here at Lumpini Park. Now, if you've seen the episode from this park where I got in a fight, you should continue watching because you never know who's going to be here. Old jacked dudes, maybe a 5-foot lizard, who knows? So I'm going to go change this ridiculous shirt and go get a workout in Lumpini Park.
A few moments later.
Now, I generally don't eat very large meals before I lift or work out, train Muay Thai, any kind of workout. But today, I wanted to show you the glory that is crispy pork. Now, that was a very high-fat meal, clearly very high fat. Now, so the way I'm gonna work around that calorie-wise for the rest of the day is I'm simply just gonna have very low-fat meals for the rest of the day. So I'm gonna hit this workout, I'll have another meal in a couple hours, and then probably one more later. And those will be very little to no fat calorie meals, simply because I loaded up on fat. I wasted all those fat calories on that crispy pork. And that is just one way you can do this, guys. Look, if you had a very carb-heavy meal, for example, you could just eat lean protein and vegetables and still be in a calorie deficit and eat lots of carbs, which is awesome. Or if you had a very high-fat meal like I just did, I could eat very low-fat meals for the rest of the day. I mean, I'm talking like maybe 5 grams of fat. It's gonna be kind of dry, kind of boring, but look, you still experienced something like crispy pork while you're losing body fat and enjoying the process, eating amazing food while continuing to see progress with your fat loss goals. And that's what it's all about, guys. Ultimately, it's kind of a math game. If you wanted to call it a diet, I'd call it the math diet. But I don't call it a diet because it's just a way of eating. Diets are inherently restrictive, right? And they have endpoints. And this doesn't have an endpoint. You just do it until you reach your goal, and then you maintain those habits, because there's a phase after the fat loss phase, and it's called maintenance. There's no point in trying to lose a ton of body fat, stopping what you're doing because it's extreme and unsustainable, and then regaining it all back. There's one of my friends from earlier. Sawadee krap.
สวัสดีครับ
Sabadi mai krap.
สวัสดีครับ
Counting sets with rocks. Yeah.
yeah 500
500,
yeah yeah
100, 200, 300, 400.
นี่100ใช่I pay 500
Yeah. So if you didn't see in the last episode, this gentleman does 500 reps on the bench press every day. Hoksik Sam, Mike? Yeah, 63 years old. And he counts his reps with rocks. Just so cool.
62
Hoksik Sam.
year old
Sabadi mai krap.
สวัสดีครับ
Okay.
อายุ
Di krap.
ดีครับ
Kapm krap.
you can speak Thai really good
Oh, kapm krap. Pom gamlang rian pasar Thai.
อ๋อ
Yeah.
อ๋อที่เมืองไทย
Ti Mung Thai, Thai. Ti Gruntep.
อ๋อครับ
เอ๊ะ
อ๋อที่ไหนครับที่ในกรุงเทพนี่เหรอครับ
Ti Prompong.
อ๋อพร้อมพงษ์
ใช่
อ๋อสุขุมวิท
Sukhumvit.
Yeah,
Sukhumvit
yeah.
Sam
อ๋อ
39.
ใช่
ใช่
ไม่เห็นหลายวัน2-3 อาทิตย์
Sam Atit Sam Muan.
ใช่ไม่3 เดือนเหรอ
Sam Dun. Sam
3
Dun.
เดือนอ๋อ
Sam Dun.
ไอโฟโต้อยู่
Yeah.
photo you.
Yeah.
เย้ไอเนี่ยไอ
We have
Yeah.
photos together from a couple months ago.
ไอชีพโฟโต้
Yeah. You on YouTube.
YouTube
Yeah. Famous. Yeah. 63-year-old. 63 years old.
every day
Every day. Yeah. What would you tell people who are your age who think that they cannot exercise? I have a question for you.
อ๋อ60
Yeah.
year old
63.
63
63.
60 year old
Okay, so a little lost in translation there. I was trying to ask him a question of, what would you tell people your age in your 60s who think that they cannot exercise? Because I think it's just a really good message for people with these limiting beliefs. I can't do such and such. I can't do this thing. I can't do that particular thing because of my age. And it's all lies. You can train at any age. In fact, the older you get, the more important it becomes. But anyway, let's go take a look at this really cool gym. If you've seen the episode before, take another look. And if you haven't seen the episode before, then watch this one and then go watch the other one. And just, hey, by the way, while we're at it, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. Any comment. You like the episode? Would you come train at this gym? Would you eat crispy pork? Would you want to come and visit Thailand and do all of the above? You see, I put a lot of time and effort into these and money, and I don't get paid for them. It's fun. It's a fun hobby, but I'm funding it myself. So the objective is to eventually be able to monetize, to at least cover my costs and do really fun stuff and document it and share it with you guys. So remember, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. It actually goes a lot further than most people would think. So really appreciate it. So today is my upper push-pull. So I'm going to hit some tractor tire bench press and figure out a way with all this old rusty equipment to do some pulling and other assistance exercises. And it's the rainy season. It's starting to rain a little bit, and I'm hearing some thunder roar. So we might get rained on, but that's not going to stop us. All right, let's get into it. All right, so I think the next thing we'll use is this little seated row. This teeny tiny bench on it, but we definitely need some more weight, so. So it's not a terrible amount of weight. Honestly, I don't really trust this cable a whole lot, so I'll probably go higher rep. But yeah, this is it. This is a really old outdoor gym in a park. Equipment's probably the same from when they opened this park. Rusty, beat up, a lot of it's broken, pushed to the side. But if you ever come to Bangkok and you want to get a cool workout in, maybe not the, you can't lift super heavy here, there's just not enough weight. But if you're just looking to get like a great workout in outdoors in a cool environment and meet some locals like our legend over there, this is the place to come. By the way, I'm just doing 2 top sets of 4 to 5 different movements. So 4 or 5. Ooh, hear that? So just 2 top sets. That means I'm doing a couple warm-up sets to get to that top weight. And then I'm just doing 2 top sets. Kind of close to failure, not complete failure, but a few reps shy, and that's enough to stimulate growth. And I'm going to be in and out of the gym here in less than 45 minutes. So if you feel like you don't have time to work out, it's a false narrative that you've been telling yourself, and it's not true. I can't make it to the gym. Meanwhile, there's dudes here in flip-flops working out in thunderstorms. Shut up and do the work. So man, listen, if you're tired of the failed attempts at fat loss, building muscle, just getting into shape, you're tired of the extreme diets that only last a short while and place major restrictions on your social life, you're tired of losing some weight and regaining it, you're tired of telling yourself you'll do it right next time, but you never do, then here comes my shameless plug.
Whoa. Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
I've helped over 1,000 men over the last 12 years lose weight and keep it off sustainably while enjoying things like crispy pork or whatever your kryptonite is from time to time. Can't have it every day probably. I mean, technically you could if you wanted to do the math diet, but also while not spending multiple hours of the day in the gym, sacrificing too much of your valuable time. You're a busy guy, you've got other priorities, and you feel a little frustrated with your lack of progress. You feel like a failure. I know how that feels. I used to weigh 320 pounds, and I tried pretty much everything to lose weight, and while I did lose weight, I always gained it back. So I've been there. I totally get it. So if you're tired of that cycle and you want to break it once and for all, then do yourself a favor, go down and click the link in the description to apply for coaching. And if your application is approved, you'll get sent to a page and we'll offer you a call. Now that call is just a chat. No sales pressure, none of that crap. Honestly, I just want to see if I can help you, because I only work with a special kind of person. I only work with people I'm absolutely sure I can help, because you deserve a coach who's not just sitting around waiting for a paycheck and monthly payments. You deserve a coach who's going all in on your goals and your results and your progress. So the link is down below, www.ironwillpt.net. Go and apply for coaching. If you're approved, we'll hop on a call together and see if we're a good fit. Man, you just gotta love these rusty old weights. You pick them up, they clank, you get rust all over your hands. Sand, there's a lot of sand here. So something to be prepared for. Maybe bring hand sanitizer. There's some bathrooms nearby you can wash your hands in and even change or take a shower actually. I like doing these lateral raises this way. A lot of times you see people doing this way, and this isn't wrong. There's nothing wrong with this. It's just that tension, my medial deltoid, the side deltoid, stops. No longer has much tension on it at this point, beyond this point. Whereas if I lean this way, I can still maintain tension on it. It's still working in this position. So that range of motion is greater and that time under tension is longer. Yeah. About time to check the pump, I think. Check that out. I don't know. Does it look good? I don't know. I got body dysmorphia. I don't know if I look good. Sometimes I might be the leanest and the fittest guy in the room, but I still feel like I look like terrible, like I used to. But it's a weird thing that happens when you get into shape, especially if you come from an overweight background. You still see and feel that overweight person in the mirror sometimes. And then other days you feel great and you're like, man, I'm looking awesome. I'm super confident. Highs and lows of getting into shape. Suppose that's not bad for a guy who used to be obese and is now 44 years old. You can do it too, I'm telling you. You've got the time. It just comes down to finding a sustainable approach that you can stick to with your busy lifestyle. I promise you, you can do it. Because look, at the end of the day, if I can go from being obese, a drunk, and occasionally homeless to whatever the hell it is I am now, to helping men achieve things that I've achieved and overcome the struggles that I went through myself, there's absolutely no reason you can't do it. So anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think about that crispy pork? Would you eat it? It's definitely good. Not something I want to eat every day. Maybe that crispy pork sandwich, I would eat that every day because that's awesome. But then again, I'd probably gain a little bit of weight because easy to overeat. So anyhow, we're gonna walk around the park here real quick and wrap it up. But as always, remember to like and subscribe. It goes a really long way. It's really appreciated. And thank you again for watching another episode here in beautiful Bangkok. I'll see you in the next episode. I'm not too sure what we're doing yet. Probably food and fitness related, I'm sure, or maybe fight related. I do plan on doing some other martial arts outside of Muay Thai, just by the way. Gonna go down to Malaysia probably soon, find something there. Might maybe find Muay Boran, which is the original Muay Thai before it turned into a sport, and some other martial arts from around Southeast Asia. So stay tuned. And yeah, once again, really appreciate you watching to the end. Talk to you soon.
What a big fat one. Oh my god. That is insane. This guy's terrible.
So, funny story. The first time I came to Bangkok was 2016, and I came to this park not knowing that there were massive lizards there, or here. And I was sitting on a bench, and a huge one just kind of walked by, and I put my feet up on the bench. I was shocked, like, what the hell is going on? And the locals were laughing at me. Also, there was a nice old lady who was selling breadcrumbs here. I saw people buying them and throwing them in the water, so I thought they were maybe feeding ducks. So I thought, maybe I'll do that. That seems like a nice, relaxing thing to do. Threw the breadcrumbs in the water, and then all these teeth, like millions of fish, and you can see their teeth. I don't know if it's piranhas or what. I don't know if the piranhas here, but I wouldn't want to fall into that water. There's massive lizards and there's fish with teeth in there that are very vicious when food falls in there. So if you ever come here, make sure you don't trip and fall into the canals. Blech.